The transfer portal is still a wild concept to me, just because it's so different than college sports were when I was a youth, when I was coming up, when I was a whippersnapper. Obviously, it falls in line with the big money industry that it is, but to see the equivalent of free agency in the NCAA is still crazy, and players moving from one school to the next, and some of them do it, in consecutive years. Obviously, the big name out there remains MiLaysia Fulwiley, who is transferring out of South Carolina. And that has become a bit of a saga because it was a saga that went back to last year. Fulwiley being electrifying, but coming off the bench. Is Dawn Staley holding her back? Is she out of control on the court? And that's why she's not playing. That was a common theme. And then when she hit the transfer portal, it was both shocking and unsurprising at the same time. But since then, the rumors have circulated, people wondering where she's going to wind up and why she left. And we still don't have the answer to that. It remains a MiLaysia mystery. And wherever she goes, she's going to be one of the most watched and followed stories of next season, perhaps behind only like AZ FUD and UConn, and of course, what her former team or soon to be former team, the Gamecocks, do. So when I mention all of that, it's because of some of this is just social media based, but there is this account on social media, Slim Milky, which tends to have some good information, I suppose, but obviously is a random account from, as far as we know, not a named account, not a known necessarily journalist. And they had written, South Carolina transfer MiLaysia Fulwiley will be visiting LSU soon, according to multiple sources. LSU seems to be the front runner at this point to land Fulwiley, which of course set the internet on fire, giving that would be a shocking turn of developments to go from South Carolina to LSU. That same account had apparently posted something in a Discord that they have. I wouldn't post the screenshot without paying my subscription fee if it wasn't already out there. But they wrote, here is the story I got. She did not want to leave South Carolina, but her mom wanted her to chase the bag. Fulwiley wanted to stay. Mom wanted to get money. Agent got fired, and now her agent is Chen's old agent. Once she left, Dawn just wasn't going to allow her back. That's why the news of her leaving and her announcement were so far apart. So that implies that Fulwiley wanted to return to South Carolina after deciding to leave and never wanted to leave in the first place. Well, apparently there was a TikTok live that MiLaysia herself landed in and talked about some of these comments. Said she appreciated the support and wanted to clear some things up. I'm not going on a visit anywhere. That was a lie. So completely refuting the LSU thing I just discussed from Fulwiley's TikTok account. Also, my decision, watershed, I must be a typo, about no money at all. Y'all really think I wanted to leave my hometown? So if she didn't want to leave her hometown, why is she leaving her hometown? And then she said, yes, never tried to go back. That's also cap. So Fulwiley denying that she decided to leave and then wanted to go back, said that she's not visiting LSU. But regardless, just a fascinating soap opera-ish South Carolina story. It's a continuation of what we saw from the season, and everybody's waiting on that news to drop as to where Fulwiley is going to wind up. Because, I've seen it. People are into her. Obviously, she's exciting on the court, but fans have expressed a lot of interest in her game and following her and stories around her. And that is continued from what happened in South Carolina. Now, the Gamecocks aren't going to miss a beat. When they brought in Taniyah Latson, they got the big 6'6" transfer as well. So they're in good shape going into next season. In fact, if I was doing preseason rankings, they might be at the top. It's a little hard to dismiss UConn because they've got Sarah Strong coming back and AZ FUD coming back. But nonetheless, South Carolina's in good shape. I'm hoping MiLaysia Fulwiley can go somewhere where she can thrive, because I would hate for her to be one of those stories that's a bit of a flame out and not someone realizing their potential. As far as LSU goes, Kim Mulkey did talk about the transfer portal because a lot of their players actually went into it. And I always think it's interesting to hear the perspective from, a coach who's been around the block.
I don't have animosity. I don't have anger toward any of these players. What I want for them is happiness. Now, do I believe in my heart of hearts that you're going to be any more happier somewhere else? Maybe if you get more playing time. But as you see, not just at LSU, but across the country, starters are transferring. All Americans are transferring. So the reasons young people transfer and get in the portal now can be anywhere from money to playing time to I just graduated, I need a change. There is no finite reason why it's happening, but it's here. And as I said, we better adapt or die. So for every player that we lose, you hate it, but you bring somebody in. And my philosophy on that is bring in players that can help you continue to be relevant in women's basketball. And we feel like we're going to do that, and we're not done yet.
In my day, you made a commitment and you stuck to it. All right? You make the commitment, you honor your commitment. That's what you do. But it is nuts, right? Like transfer madness, March Madness, it's the continuation from that. And yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of movement. There's nothing else really to it. I think what Mulkey said was on point. Now they're keeping their top players in Flauget and Williams, but the rest of it. And we're all sitting here waiting on, I guess that's kind of the last real shoe to drop is wherever MiLaysia Fulwiley winds up. I mean, for the drama, I would hope for LSU that, even if she apparently rebuked that on her TikTok, that would cause some chaos. I mean, that at this point, who doesn't want that? That would be my inclination. But I'm just hoping Fulwiley goes somewhere where she's got the ball in her hands, she can go, and we can see just how good she really is. Because it was hard to see that with South Carolina. It was hard to see it because you get a glimpse, but then Dawn Staley's a great coach, so she had to have a method to her madness as well. And I would like to see, that actual test of Fulwiley, what her ceiling is when she's getting as many minutes as possible and as many shot attempts and opportunities to handle the ball as possible. So hopefully she can land somewhere that can provide that for her.